Hello, this is Richa. Welcome to the third episode of our journey into the world of Proverbs. In the last episode, we mulled over some of the beautiful Proverbs of Tibet. Today, we cross the Himalayas to the west and arrive at the beautiful valley of Kashmir. The historical past of Kashmir, also known as Kashir in the Kashmiri language, has been shaped by multiple cultural confluences. The region was an important center of Buddhism, introduced by the Mauryan Emperor Ashoka in 3rd century BCE, and of Hinduism, with a succession of Hindu dynasties ruling till about mid-14th century. From mid-14th century onwards, Kashmir passed on to the Shah Mir dynasty and then to the Mughal Empire from late 16th to mid-18th centuries, and then to the Afghan Durrani Empire after that. In early 19th century, Kashmir was annexed by the Sikhs, but in 1846, with the defeat of the Sikhs in the First Anglo-Sikh War, it was annexed by the Dogra Kingdom of Jammu under Raja Gulab Singh. The rule of his descendants lasted till the partition of India in 1947 under the paramountcy of the British Crown. Territorial disputes between India, Pakistan and China ever since has rendered this beautiful valley into an area of conflict, unfortunately. Nonetheless, this region, interspersed with lofty mountains, rivers, lakes filled with colorful boats, orchards of apples and apricots, people wearing beautifully embroidered firans, has a rich and vibrant oral tradition. This is reflected in the large number of proverbs, some of which are drawn directly from certain religious, cultural, historical, and literary texts, while others are taken from the poetic compositions of famous poets such as Laleshwari or Lal Dad and Sheikh Nur ul Din. A number of proverbs are also borrowed from Sanskrit and Perso-Arabic sources. In my search for Kashmiri proverbs, I came across a book published in 1885 called A Dictionary of Kashmiri Proverbs and Sayings, compiled by Reverend J. Hinton Knowles. Another book that interested me was entitled A Dictionary of Kashmiri Proverbs by Omkar N. Kaul and published by the Indian Institute of Language Studies in 1992. These two books, published over an interval of almost 100 years, gave me what I was looking for. She came to visit a shopkeeper but went to a baker's shop instead, meaning to give benefit to someone in place of someone else. Whether they kill a big ram or a small one, it is all the same for Laleshwari. She always has a stone in her bowl of food, meaning ill treatment to one in spite of prosperity. These two proverbs speak of the story of Laleshwari, a famous saint poetess of the 14th century. Laleshwari, also remembered as Lala or Lal Dad, comes across in the proverbs as a yogini attached to the Shaiva sect of Hinduism. But she was not a religious bigot and believed that all religions were one in their essential beliefs. Though this kind of thinking is familiar in Hindu philosophy, Lal Dad was influenced by this idea through her association with the Sufi saint Sayyid Ali Hamadani. Lal Dad is also said to have been influenced by the saint Nuruddin Shah, also known as Nand Rishi. As a result, some Kashmiri proverbs attempt religious syncretism. Sample this proverb. Father Adam had two sons, one chose a pyre and the other grave. That is, one became Hindu and another became a Muslim or Christian. Interestingly, there are references to the folklore so popular in the rest of North India. For example, the legendary dialogues between the great Mughal Emperor Akbar and his sharp and witty minister Birbal. One of them refers to Birbal's daughter. The king Akbar asked Birbal's daughter, "Does a man give birth to a child?" She replied, "Does an ox give milk?" implying a funny question gets a funny answer. There is another proverb that refers to Birbal's ram, Bir Balun Kat, meaning one cannot relax or enjoy when one is kept under constant threat. The story behind this is that once Akbar asked his ministers, including Birbal, to feed a ram each for 2 months, but to take care that they should not be heavier or lighter than they were at that moment. Birbal took his ram and, according to various versions of the story, kept either a sword or a dog or a lion near the ram. The result was that the poor ram did not become fatter or thinner out of fear. There is also the reference to the legendary tragic love story of Laila Majnu. The story of Laila Majnu was narrated for the whole night, and the next day he asked what relation Laila was of Majnu, implying a forgetful or unattentive person. Geographical descriptions are also used to disseminate wisdom in the Kashmiri proverbs. For example, wealth comes like the falling snow, that is, slowly. Wealth goes away like the melting snow, that is, quickly. Or, God waters the pines of the jungle, meaning God takes care of the people who need it. Or this proverb, when the floodgates of the Dal Lake open, they do not listen to anyone, meaning when a calamity or misfortune comes, it cannot be wished away. Here is another proverb. O Vitasta, at what place do you roar? Vitasta replies, at the very source. Vitasta is the Rigvedic name for the river Jhelum. The proverb means it is one's background which makes one boast. Some proverbs refer to the delicious fruits of Kashmir. For example, to describe a hypocrite or a deceptive personality, here are 2 proverbs. Outside, he is beautifully and splendidly dressed, but inside, he is an empty walnut. Or, within me is the rottenness of the willow, but without continues the color of the apricot. Then there is the proverb which is critical in tone. Religious sermons are meant for other people, not for oneself, meaning one who only preaches and does not act. The Kashmiri proverbs are quintessential in that they reflect the unique social and cultural milieu of the region. For example, hold my kangri and watch my run, which means to exhibit one's readiness. The kangri or kangar is the Kashmiri portable fireplace comprising 2 parts. One, the inner earthenware vessel where the hot embers are placed, and its encasement of wicker work, sometimes ornamented with rings and nicely colored. This little fireplace is held underneath the loose, long, gown-like garment called the firan to protect the Kashmiris from the harsh extremities of winter. The term firan probably comes from the Persian word pairahan, or the garment. Here is a proverb of the firan. In summer, I need a cotton firan. In winter, I need a woolen firan, implying that everything should be appropriate to season. So friends, This is only a handful of proverbs taken from the vast oral tradition of Kashmir. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. Keep coming back for more to explore the world of proverbs with me every Friday at Gulp Lok. Meanwhile, here is a sweet Kashmiri blessing for you. Balai dur ta khair kabool, meaning, may misfortune be far from you and prosperity near. Thank you.